Coming truth. I am Des.
I'm Rodney.
All right, y'all. So today, we got a really good topic for you all. Today's topic is talking about why Black women feel that Black men do not protect them. And this is a really serious topic. This is a topic that I think has been around for a long time, like from generation to generation. So, and I wanted to give a little backstory on this topic. So we got this topic from listening to Meg The Stallion. If y'all don't know who Megan The Stallion is, she is a rapper. She's a female rapper. Stories say, or she came out the other day and basically told her side of the story. Her side of the story is that a rapper by the name of Tory Lanez shot her in both of her feet. Okay, so she cleared the air, I guess, from her side of the story. And basically, so in her story, she emphasized how she really didn't want to even come out and say that. She didn't want to be a quote unquote snitch, I guess, from what other people are calling her. She wanted to protect him. That was her goal. And she did protect him up until she felt the need to tell her side of the story. And her reason of protecting him was because they were all in a car. It was about 4 people, I think she said, including her and Tory Lanez. And he had a weapon. He had a gun. And when the police arrived, and she said there was like a helicopter flying over the car, she felt like her life was more in danger than with Tory Lanez. So much so that she did not tell the cops or the officials or whoever that he shot her. So now she's coming out with it. She's telling her truth. She's telling the truth from what it looks like, because Tory Lanez hasn't said anything. So my thing is, she felt like she had to protect him. One, because of what's going on with the injustice system right now, what's been really going on, but it's just really coming out more. Being Black people in a car, who knows what could have happened. And then 2, by him being a Black man and by Black men being targeted heavily during this time, she wanted to protect him. So we just want to discuss, because this is not the first time I know that I've heard that. I don't know, is this the first time that you've heard Black women feeling like they have, it's like
No, I did hear, I don't know where, but I guess I did hear that before. I'm not sure who it was, if it was somebody in the media or if it was somebody like a peer in our circle, but I did hear it before.
Okay. Yeah, of course, me being a Black woman, I've heard it a few times. I've heard it more than a few times. And in a sense, I think I've kind of felt that way. You know, just being a Black woman, I felt like it's our duty to protect our Black men. And we just want to kind of elaborate and talk about that. And really just kind of get y'all's opinion, if y'all want to comment below. Why do Black women feel that way? And if we should. And I feel like I was listening to, you remember I sent you that YouTube. Yeah. So another rapper by the name of Bun B, he made a video basically reacting to Meg The Stallion's video. And he was just basically like, you know, his wife is the same way. Like, if it wasn't for his wife, he probably would be dead right now. So I think this thing has like stemmed down from generation to generation to generation. And it came from like our great grandmothers who felt like the Black men were never loved, were never protected. So it was our duty. And I think it's just kind of just stayed with us.
Have you ever felt?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I felt.
No, have you ever felt that black men don't protect you? Not that you have to protect them, but have you been in a situation where you feel like, okay, the men that I'm dating or the men that I'm around, I don't feel safe. Not that they're gonna harm me, but I don't feel like they will protect me in the time of need.
I will have to say, yeah, I have, to be honest.
Now, is it?
Now, it wasn't something like dramatic like that.
Yeah.
But
was it, you think, but you never dated anybody outside your race, so
no,
I don't know
never.
and I guess that's another thing, is it women in general? Like when she first brought this question to me, my first thought was maybe that women or maybe black women feel that the men are their sons, not trying to, say that we're not men, but they just, I don't know, we all come from a woman.
Yeah.
You feel me? So even though we're grown.
That motherly instinct.
Right. It's like he came from your womb, even though he's not your child.
Yeah.
But I think
that's
it's
a
just,
good point.
Yeah, that's what I think.
So basically what he was saying was, do we as women feel like, because most women have that motherly instinct, do we feel like we have to protect our men because of that instinct that we have, that natural instinct that we have?
Right.
I never looked at it that way.
Right, and then and that's the case. What instinct do men have, or don't they have, to make them not want to protect black women or women? If that's really the case, it could just be certain people. But I think it goes back. I think it's just human nature, and I say that because when you think about, and I don't think this has nothing to do with slavery, but when you think about the psychology they use or to use against the slaves, where they purposely removed the males from the household, they purposely would have the males do something like beyond embarrassing or beyond, to make them look weak in front of their families. Or punish them in front of their families, like purposely. They would do the sickest stuff to the males, and it was purposely. They removed the males purposely because they knew what it would do to the family. And I think even to this day, not saying that people purposely removed the black man from the family, but I think at a time there were situations, I would say probably during the civil rights movement, where black families, black marriage was like 70%. It was really high. And it for whatever reason, it's dropped down, I think, to like 20%. It's really bad, but I think it has to do with welfare, because it incentivizes women to marry the government because you can't get assistance if a man is not in the house. It has to do with, I guess, the imprisonment of black men and I don't know, and also I think it has to do with the number of women in society. Like when there's so many women to every man, it's like it's hard to hold them down. So my point is, I think the absence of fathers have created boys who haven't been taught to protect their families because they've never seen it done before.
Yeah.
And so, and also the absence of fathers. Men haven't been, I guess, trained to control their testosterone. So they're out there just with no type of control. And I think without the father in the female's life, she's seeking, that love or that protector. And she feels maybe if I show him, some unconditional love as I would a child, then maybe he'll love me back the same way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it could be many of things. I think.
Oh.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
But I think it stems back to, for those who don't protect their woman, I think it still stems back to the childhood they had, who was in their life teaching them the way of, the protector. And sadly, I think it's had a bigger effect because it's this book, and I never read it. I was reading a little bit of it. It's called Women Are From Mars, or Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. The author just put out an updated version of it, and then I read the kind of introduction, and he was like, "This book is not really about women or men; it's more about gender roles." He's like, "Because things have changed so much, to now you have women who play the male gender role, the traditional male gender role, and you got men who play the female gender role." So I think for some whatever reason that has a lot to do with it too, and it's creating a society where women are like, leading even in the household. And I think that has to do with it. I think when you're not using your testosterone, when you're always like in the submissive state, like, your body doesn't create what you don't use. So if you're not using a lot of testosterone, then and if you're always like having to go and beat hard, then now you're becoming more aggressive. And I think the roles are just reversing, sadly, where you got men who act like women and women who act like men. And so maybe the men that's not the men that's not protecting is feeling like, well, she's supposed to protect me. Who knows?
Whew. He just
It's
said a
sad.
mouthful.
Yeah.
Like, he really gave a lot of nuggets right there. And this is from a man's point of view. I want to go back to when he started talking about, what was it? What was it? The first part, because you said so much. Like,
About the absence of fathers
no,
and
no,
the
no,
effect
no.
on the kids. Embarrassing.
During the civil rights movement.
The marriage rate was high.
Right. And you also talked about like how the masters, they used to call them masters or whatever, how they would make them feel belittled in front of their families. And I just want to kind of talk about that part, because I can't even imagine how being, you being a man, a black man, and you can't even, you're looking weak, in front of your family. Like, what are you supposed to do about that? You can't do anything because you're helpless,
Right.
So I can see how that kind of messed with the man's ego, the black man's ego, when that was done. And so that's actually a good point. And I can see that being a generational curse right there. And and when I say generational curse, I mean like it's going from generation to generation to generation, where you got the grandfather feeling less than a man, and then his ego has been brought down, and then now the grandfather has it stemmed from the grandfather to his son, and then his son. It's just like a ever never ending cycle.
Right.
And then when you talked about also, and I understand too, with women having to depend on government assistance. So you're talking about how you're talking about the single mothers.
The process of
right.
How did,
and that could be a part of it too, with women not having that husband there, and she's having to raise the kids alone. That's a bigger problem within itself, and probably needs its own discussion. But how single women that have kids have to play that role of being a mother and a father,
protector and a nurturer.
And and then you got women putting that defense mode, like I'm constantly in fight mode. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm constantly in fight mode, because I gotta be the man, I gotta be the protector, I gotta be the provider. So I'm not gonna let you or anybody run over me or my kids. So that is also a big issue within itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last part, what was you talking about? You said so much, Rodney. I don't know. He said a lot in that time. He basically gave the whole video. But I just want to say that all of that could definitely play a part in the reason why Black women, and I will include myself, sometimes feel like they're not protected. And I think, like Bun B said, the rapper, when he said what he said, he basically was saying like he understand, and we shouldn't, black women shouldn't feel that way. You know, we shouldn't feel, especially by our own black men. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different if the white men are making us feel that way, or whomever, but the black men, somebody that, you know, we not worship, but we love so dearly, somebody that we wake up, we cook and we clean up after, somebody that we bear your kids. We need that protection. Oh, the last part also, when he was talking about how it could be that a lot of the women that feel that way are fatherless, daughters. They wasn't raised with their dad. So that's also a good part of it, that could be a part of it. So it could be so much that we could talk about, and we don't want to ramble in this video, but I just want to say this. How can we stop that stigmatism when it comes to black men? How can we as black women, what can we as black women do to not put ourselves in a situation where we have to protect, where we feel like we have to protect y'all? Because y'all are not making us protect y'all, but it's a feeling that we have that we have to protect you all. So how can we do that?
I think it's a matter of being secure, secure, and I guess knowing your value. Because I think a lot of that is trying to prove your worth. Even to a lot of cases, you see women trying to prove their worth to a man who don't have a pot to piss in, but they go above and beyond just to still say, I am worthy of somebody, because they feel like, it's always that fear of, will anybody love me for me?
Yeah.
So then I think even with the ego thing, with the male ego, the black man, like the black woman has, I don't say overshadowed him, but even when they was talking about putting Harriet Tubman on the $5 bill, I was listening to Judge Joe Brown. People didn't like what he said. He was pretty much like, why would you put a woman on for a black woman on a $5 bill first, when there's been many of black men who've done tremendous things. But again, it's like they're still removing the black man out of the household. Like they're still saying, oh no, this is your thing, not him. And that can create an ego.
I think that's their motive.
Resentment to the black woman from the black man. So black men not resent black women, but it's like, it could be some resentment to like, okay, damn, So ego thing. Also with ego, you start overcompensating. You start acting macho, or who knows.
But again, I think that the reason why the men feel like they have to compensate for their ego is because of lack of father. You mentioned that too. Lack of having a father figure or male figure in their life.
With good sense.
Good sense, exactly. Because you got to think, a boy that had to be a man at 14, who did he have to, show him the way? Who did he have to show him how to treat a woman, how to respect a woman? You know what I'm saying? We don't know Tory Lanez background, but it's kind of evident that maybe he didn't have that father figure growing up, or maybe he's just crazy. He just got some mental problems. We don't know.
Which could stem from
that, but we just wanted to basically get on here and talk about that, because that's a sensitive topic. It's a real serious topic. I've never felt that way from you. Like, I don't feel like I've never felt not protected with you. But there was some guys before you that I dated in the past that I felt like it was a situation where I felt like, I don't know if he would protect me. And then also, not really to get in this really deep, but you got a lot of men, hollering like, hey, I would never date a black girl because she got attitude. I prefer a white woman, and would marry a white woman over a black woman, but a black woman birthed you. You know what I'm saying? So I just, all those stigmatisms, we really got to figure out, one, where it stemmed from, and one, how do we correct that? Because we see now in this year of 2020 that we all got to stick together, and not only stick together, but we got to figure out a solution and break those generational curses and not lead it and let it linger on to our kids and our kids. You know what I'm saying? So, Ronnie, you really gave some good nuggets though.
Thank you.
I couldn't even really, I was trying to pin them in my head, but it was so hard because you just kept talking, and I was like, oh dang, that's a good one too. Oh dang, that's a good one too. So anyways, you got anything else to say? We just want to go ahead and wrap this video up. If y'all have any suggestions on how black women, what black women can do to not feel that way or not put themselves in a situation, or if y'all have any suggestions on how black men can not make a black woman feel like they're not protected, please comment below. Let us know how y'all feel about this video. Let us know how y'all feel about that Meg The Stallion and Tory Lanez situation. It's really crazy. I can't even wrap my head around a man shooting a woman. I want to say something, but I don't want to, cuss on here. But that's a crazy move. Anyways, we love y'all. Comment, share the video. Peace.